Me then cuss, me then go and complain. Put up them pressure, come and not let me get.
Man of the match like Marlon. Box down a boy in fear of sense.
Yeah. Go on, you go on. Ease yourself, just keep it calm, you your star. Only put pressure in my corner. One time it hard to carry on. You no need no girl for turn to, no man for talk to. Feelings hurt, on the journey so far.
Welcome Success family, my enlightened keepers of Alkaline Media alongside our new arrivals to the channel. I will tell you 5 strategic moves Vybz Kartel made since his release from prison, and I will tell you why Kartel is a genius. Alright, so as we all know, Vybz Kartel has always been a master tactician, not just in music but in the way he moves in the public eye. Since Kartel release, every decision, every silence has been calculated. Grab your popcorn because we're going to dive into why Vybz Kartel chose to ignore key figures like Alkaline, Sir P from Politricks Watch, Paula Llewellyn and Holness. And if you notice, these are all heavyweights in their own lanes, but Kartel's silence speaks louder than any of their direct response. Again, this video was important for me to make because it shows just how ahead Vybz Kartel is thinking strategically. Like a chess grandmaster, Kartel is not playing the same game as everyone else, he's playing his own. Now, from entertainment to politics to law and social commentary, Kartel's silence is more powerful than a direct clash. Kartel basically outsmart the big four, and I will also touch on why Vybz Kartel is not wearing Clarks anymore. If you're new to the channel, welcome and make sure to subscribe to get all our latest videos. Alright, so Vybz Kartel outsmart and ignore Alkaline, because when it comes to Alkaline, if Vybz Kartel were to acknowledge him directly, it would elevate Alkaline's status in dancehall, and people would start to believe that Alkaline is on the same level as Kartel. So any acknowledgement from Kartel would give Alkaline the legitimacy as Kartel direct competitor, which Vybz Kartel know is not the case. As the dominant figure in dancehall, Kartel's silence is a calculated move to prevent Alkaline from gaining any fame or hype off his name. Now Kartel is fully aware that giving Alkaline attention would only benefit Alkaline and not him. So by Kartel keeping quiet, Kartel denies Alkaline the validation he seeks and avoids the unnecessary rivalry, and we can see the evidence of that when Alkaline came on stage and dissed Vybz Kartel. Now remember that all of Alkaline interviews in the past were him being asked questions about Kartel and him being an alternative to Vybz Kartel, but the reality is that Kartel legacy stands apart and can't rub out, and the only man Vybz Kartel consider him rival is actually Mavado. But we all know how that situation is pending out right now, because Mavado and Vybz Kartel, they meant things. So Kartel remain the undisputed king, and he knows that Alkaline cannot rise to that level, at least not for now. So Kartel's silence towards Alkaline shows his untouchable status in dancehall. Alright, so we're gonna touch on this one right now. Sir P from Politricks Watch played out, and he's not getting any sleep right now because Vybz Kartel is ignoring him, and Vybz Kartel outsmart him also. If Vybz Kartel were to acknowledge Sir P from Politricks Watch, it would imply that Vybz Kartel has been affected by Sir P ongoing commentary, which is far from the truth. That is not the case. Sir P platform was built largely around the narrative surrounding Vybz Kartel imprisonment, with Sir P always trying to paint an image of Vybz Kartel being guilty and tear down the artist. Now, by Vybz Kartel addressing Sir P, Kartel would give credibility to the accusation made by Sir P. And we all know that is something Vybz Kartel is too smart to do. Vybz Kartel understand that engaging with Sir P would only benefit Sir P platform and would in no shape or form benefit him, Kartel. So Sir P became particularly prominent when his name was mentioned during Kartel appeal trial, and people did believe that Sir P commentary would negatively impact Kartel's chance of freedom. However, when the tides turned and Kartel was released, we know how Sir P went on a rampage, right? And Sir P credibility also took a hit because he's going around in circles. Every minute him said this, then him take it back, him said that. If you don't believe me, go watch it on YouTube. Right? So Vybz Kartel keeps silent, and by doing so rejects Sir P influence. Alright, Predis, you ever notice how no one ever asks Vybz Kartel about Sir P in Vybz Kartel interviews? I'm 100% sure I'm not the only one who noticed it. Let me tell you what Sir P did. Sir P told people Kartel was not safe and Kartel is safer in prison, and we know Vybz Kartel is not a coward. Vybz Kartel show people he will not live in fear or adjust his lifestyle because of Sir P words, and Kartel proved that when Kartel confidently re-entered back into society and is out and about everywhere, and that is Vybz Kartel playing his own game, and Sir P narrative no longer hold any weight end of that story. So moving on, Vybz Kartel ignored Andrew Holness. If Vybz Kartel were to directly mention Prime Minister Andrew Holness, it would immediately create a media storm, transforming the conversation into a battle between Vybz Kartel and the Jamaican government, and this would distract people from PNP and their objectives, especially as they position themselves to form the next government. So Vybz Kartel's silence on Andrew Holness is a smart move to avoid giving Jamaica Labour Party any leverage to use against Mark Gold in PNP. Kartel has already shown support for PNP, and any clash with Andrew Holness or JLP would be twisted to serve JLP narrative. So by Vybz Kartel remaining quiet, Kartel remains in control of the situation and avoid hurting the PNP negatively. This is a brilliant decision by Vybz Kartel to keep politics at arm's length, to ensure that his support for Mark Gold in PNP remains clean without providing any ammunition to Andrew Holness and his party. Kartel calculated everything, right? Tell us that the man is a genius. So him just focus on the bigger picture while allowing the PNP to continue their work without any unnecessary distraction. You see me? Alright, so we're moving on to Paula Llewellyn, and this one is one I spoke about many times before on the channel. If you've been following the channel closely, you will know and understand, right? So if Kartel were to acknowledge Paula Llewellyn, the former director of public prosecution, it would give Paula Llewellyn more power and influence, knowing the significant weight she once holds, right, in the legal system. Kartel understands the ins and the outs of the legal system and the role Paula Llewellyn played in his initial conviction. She was the reason why Kartel went to prison. So Kartel understands, say, yo, she handled the case, and it became one of the most talked about legal proceedings in Jamaica, and that elevate Paula Llewellyn profile tremendously. However, with Paula Llewellyn current legal challenges surrounding her extended tenure in the Supreme Court, Kartel is patiently waiting to see how her situation, unfolds. So by staying silent, Kartel avoids reigniting any media frenzy that surrounded his case, because that would only boost Paula Llewellyn relevance, and Kartel knows that any mention of Paula Llewellyn could ignite the fame and notoriety she gained from the trial, because she gained her 15 minutes of fame, and Vybz Kartel wants to avoid that. So Vybz Kartel's strategy is clear: to remain above them at all times. You see me? Because now you cannot use the man name to get more power and influence, and all of these people profit from Vybz Kartel legal situation. Alright, so I will call Alkaline, Sir P, Paula Llewellyn and Andrew Holness the big four. Right? And all these people profit from Vybz Kartel legal situation. Each of these four figures, Alkaline, Sir P, Andrew Holness and Paula Llewellyn, represent a different sector of influence. Alkaline, entertainment; Sir P, social commentary on YouTube, right? And Andrew Holness, politics; and Paula Llewellyn, the law. So Vybz Kartel chose not to engage with any of them. Kartel has outsmarted them all. Kartel refrained from giving them the attention they crave, which would only serve to elevate their platforms or agendas. Vybz Kartel's silence is a statement in itself. Alright, another thing that I want to touch on is that Vybz Kartel is ignoring clocks. Vybz Kartel stopped wearing clocks, because we all know Vybz Kartel influence extends far beyond music into the Jamaican culture itself, and Kartel iconic song Clocks was a nationwide trend, with nearly everyone in Jamaica wearing the shoes. And despite all of that, Clocks never formally recognized Vybz Kartel contribution. So when Kartel was released, Kartel made a bold statement by no longer wearing clocks, showing them that he's not going to promote them brand for free anymore when they are giving brand deals to everybody else except the man who is responsible for revitalizing the shows in the Jamaican market, in the Jamaican culture. You see me? So Vybz Kartel stop wearing clocks, and that speak louder than anything else, because Vybz Kartel does not want to give his influence and power to Clocks. So Clocks stop overlook Vybz Kartel and give the man the deal, because right now Kartel refused to wear the shoes, and until compensate Vybz Kartel for the cultural shift that he himself created, then you will find Vybz Kartel wearing Clocks again. You see me? Alright, so that was the video for today. Thanks for the likes, thanks for the subscribe, thanks for the views, thanks for the comments. As always, I'm out.